Let's make a Java class whose purpose is to define an object. So first I'm going to make a new class, and I'm going to call it puppy. So, first thing about making a class, you have to declare the class. And one thing to note is that class names are always capitalized. So public class puppy. I follow that up with an open brace and then a close brace. And I like to put an open and close brace right away so I don't forget to close off my braces. So let's note again that class names are always capitalized. So there are three basic sections of a class. So the first section are the instance variables. So the instance variables, those are the attributes of the object. The second section is where you have your constructors. And the constructors, their job is to build the object and initialize the instance variables. The last section of the class are the methods. And the point of the methods, these are the actions that the object can perform. So let's think about modeling this puppy. Let's consider things about this puppy. Let's think about its age. So we'll have the age of the puppy, and that'll be a whole number, so that'll be an int, or an integer in particular. And let's also have the way it barks, so the sound it makes when it barks. And we're going to print that, so that'll be a string. So those are the items that it keeps track of. So it keeps track of these things individually. Those are the attributes. The actions, our puppy is able to bark. And our puppy is also able to tell us how old it is. It's a very special puppy there. So, in the instance variables, those are the attributes of the object, so we're going to create instance variables that represent these attributes up here. So we have private int age and private string noise. Instance variables are always going to be marked private, and we'll worry about why that is later. But for now, mark them private. The constructor will always have the same name as the class. So public puppy matches the name of the class, and open and close parenthesis. So what we want to do is we want to set up a default age for the puppy. So we'll say the puppy is 1 year old. And the noise that it makes will be woof. But what if we want to create a puppy that is a different age than the default, or makes a different noise than the default? We can have multiple constructors, and we can provide sets of parameters here. So if we provide an age, and we provide a noise, we can initialize our variables up here with the variables that are provided by the user here. So we can say age is assigned the value of an age, and noise gets the value of a noise. So we can test this out very fast. Go to puppy. We right-click on puppy. We see that we have two options here. We can make the new puppy without any parameters, or we can provide an age and a string. So let's make a default puppy. We'll call this one, puppy 1 is fine. And then let's make a second puppy, puppy 2. This time we'll say it's 2 years old, and the string that it makes is moo. So when we right-click on either one of these, it says there's no accessible methods because we haven't made any methods yet, but we can inspect them, and puppy 1 does indeed have an age of 1 and says woof, and puppy 2 has an age of 2 and says moo. All right, so let's make this puppy interactive now. So the methods that the object can perform. So we said that the methods it will be able to bark and tell us how old it is. So the barking, we're just going to ask it to bark, and it's not going to return anything. It's going to just print to the screen. So this is since we're not returning anything, there'll be a void here, and we'll get into what all that means later. Public void bark. And what we're going to do is we're going to print the noise that is stored in the instance variable here. So we'll print noise. And that is everything there for that method. The other method that we're going to do is we want to be able to retrieve the age of the dog. So to retrieve the age, we're going to ask it for its age. It's going to hand us back the number. So we need to have the return value of an int, the return type. So public int get age. And here, we're just going to send back that private instance variable age, which we normally wouldn't be able to access directly because it's private, but because we have this getAge method, we can. So let's compile this and take a look. Let's make a new puppy. I right-click, I do void bark, woof. I do int get age, and it returned a value of 1. So here's how we would use this blueprint. So we have a blueprint for a puppy, and then the object is the actual puppy that exists. But here in the class, we just have the concept of a puppy. If we want to use this, we can make a new class. We can call it puppy tester. In this class, public class puppy tester, we're just going to have a main method, public static void main string args. And to use the puppy class, we have to instantiate it. We have to create one of these puppies by calling the constructor. So I'm going to say puppy1 equals new puppy. So that will give us a default one. And we'll have puppy2 will be new puppy. And this time we're going to provide an age and a sound. So this puppy says meow. All right. So now what do we do with this? We have created two separate objects from the same blueprint, but they are holding different instance values, different values for the instance variables. So let's print some information about these. First, actually, let's have each puppy speak. So if you do puppy1.bark and puppy2.bark, we should see puppy1 barking with its phrase, and puppy 2 barking with its phrase. And then let's also print out how old each one is. So you can say that puppy 1 is puppy 1 dot get age years old. Let's put a space here so we don't have the age running right next to the letter Y. We can copy and paste this. And do the same thing for puppy 2. Okay, so what do we expect to see? We should expect to see woof followed by meow, and we should expect to see puppy 1 is 1 year old and puppy 2 is 2 years old. So let's run this and find out. And there it is, woof, meow, puppy 1 is 1 year old, puppy 2 is 2 years old. All right, let's do one more adjustment to the puppy class. So far, both of these methods here did not make any changes to the variables age and noise. So because they didn't make any changes to those variables, these two methods are what we call accessor methods. Accessor methods, they do not change the states of the object. In other words, the instance variables do not have their values changed. If we do want to change it, let's go ahead and teach it a new phrase. So public void teach phrase. And we'll provide the phrase that we're teaching. So phrase. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assign the phrase that we're teaching to the noise that the puppy makes. So we'll say noise gets the value of phrase. Here we are altering the object, so this is what we call a mutator method. This alters the state of the object by changing one or more of the instance variables. So let's go back to our tester class one more time. And let's teach our first puppy a new phrase. So puppy dot, let's see, what was it called again? Teach phrase. Puppy dot teach phrase hello. And now let's have the puppy bark. We will compile it and run it. Let's comment out all of this. Actually, I'll leave it. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. So there's our woof, there's our meow, puppy's 1 year old, puppy's 2 years old, and now puppy 1 says hello instead of woof. So that was a mutator method.